Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Queens of Ponderosa, where we outfit, outgay, and outslay every single week. My name is Taylor, and I'm here with my co-host Alicia.
Hello.
And we have made it to the end of season 50 of Survivor.
We did
It's been
it.
a crazy journey, and so we are here to talk about the finale. It aired last night. Lots of interesting things happened, some funny things happened, some memorable things happened. And we're just going to kind of share our thoughts on the finale. Next week, we're going to talk about the season as a whole and kind of what our general thoughts are on what happened and who was there and how it happened. And then after that, we're going to put Survivor 50 alongside every other season and rank them. So we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up over the next few weeks. But for tonight, we are just talking the finale. So,
yes,
Alicia, before we get into the specifics, how do you feel about last night's finale?
I mean, we've said this before where it's like, even a bad season of Survivor is still Survivor.
Yes.
And this
still
season,
fun.
Yeah, this season wasn't bad by any means.
No, I don't think it was bad.
No. But because we were so confident in the outcome, which we were correct, it just was kind of like, okay, we know what's going to happen. Let's just like see how it unfolds, I guess.
Yeah.
How we like get to that point. But it was good. You know, it was like, it was still good.
Yeah.
You know?
Alicia and I, we watched the finale together with our partners and then also with some cousins of mine. So we had like a decent sized group. There were 6 of us. And I will say that I think watching it together as a group it made it more fun.
It's so fun.
Because like you said, I think if I would have just watched it at home with Josh, it would have just been like, okay, like we know Aubrey's winning, like let's just wrap it up. But the fact that we were all there to like talk about it and share thoughts made it really fun. But yes, I agree. Like no shade to the winner, Aubrey. Congratulations. Like she's not responsible for editing the show.
No.
But I agree that I think that the two things of like losing so many big contenders back to back to back to back of like Emily, Ozzy, Devin, Cirie.
Yeah.
Plus with respect, like the very obvious winner's edit that she was getting these last 2 or 3 episodes. It was like, I feel like there's not even any suspense really. Like I know she's
like,
gonna win.
Skip to the end.
But like how you said, it was more just like, well, like how does she?
Just a matter of
how does she get there?
Yeah, I think one of the most interesting things after this finale has just been the exit press from the finalists and just getting their perspective on everything is always fun because there's so much behind the scenes that we don't see.
Yeah.
Stephanie's
oh my God.
statement question in Final Tribal was hilarious to me. It's just like, oh my gosh, be serious.
Stephanie in general, there's a lot of interesting stuff there. Somebody went through and looked at, I saw this on Instagram. Somebody went through on Reddit. I wish I would have saved the video so I could give them credit. But a person on Reddit went through and looked at who everybody is following or not following. At like the end of the season.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are not following the like honor and integrity group. There's a lot of people that aren't following Steph and Chrissy. Coach is only following a handful of people. I think Stephanie's following everybody, but there's a lot of people that are not following her.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I agree with you. And you can continue, but very interesting like exit press and stuff that's happening now that the seas's all over and everybody can kind of talk more openly.
Yeah, definitely. And I think to your point of just like the big threats going back to back to back to back, because then losing Tiffany is just like, it sucks.
Oh yeah.
I think it just deflated everything really quickly because it's like, oh, I love this person. Oh, they're gone. Oh, I love this person. Oh, they're gone. And then it was just like that back to back to. So it's like, okay, you feel like at the end you're left with the table scraps, which sounds so mean.
Yeah.
And I said what I said.
Yeah, like it was a little bit, and we don't mean this as like a personal attack against any of the players, but yes, like I did kind of have the feeling that like, while I love Tiff and love Rizzo. Yeah. And I'm pretty fine with like Joe and Aubrey too. Jonathan, whatever. But like this, when you look at the cast as a whole, yeah, I really did feel like this final 5 was like, what's
what
left?
the what?
Right.
Yeah.
To quote Big Brother, like, they were the leftovers.
They were the leftover alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Expect the unexpected.
Yes.
In Big Brother
and this
terms.
was, yeah, if we want to say expect the unexpected, I don't think anybody, without spoilers, obviously, would anybody have predicted, like, this final 5?
No.
I don't think so at all.
No. Sam did use ChatGPT to pick his winner, and like at the very beginning, before the game started, and ChatGPT was like, pick Aubrey. Oh wait, did I say this in the last episode?
I think that we had talked about it after we stopped filming.
Okay. So Chat said that Aubrey would be the best winner pick because da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, Chat
definitely had
pulled
spoilers.
It definitely pulled from like r/spoiled survivor
for sure.
Reddit.
I was just like, ugh, so lame. But we didn't put it together until then.
Yes.
But then Sam's other winner pick was Jonathan, because he sees so much of his older brother in Jonathan. They look like really similar. Mm-hmm. Other than the physique, but their faces look very similar. Anyway, so both of his people ended up in the finale, which was cool.
Sam
and history was made. There was some history made in this episode.
Yes.
Where, well, I can't remember how Jeff worded it, but basically in the fire making challenge, if we want to go through it chronologically, Tiffany gets voted out.
Yes.
And who won immunity that round? Jonathan.
Yes. By a hair.
After
right?
he
It was
threw up his guts.
Yeah. Tight. Yeah, like if we want to like just very quickly provide some setup for that, because it goes really quickly. Mm-hmm. They get back to camp after voting out Cirie, and Tiffany, like, rightfully is like
pissed.
Yeah, like all of you guys, I know you want to vote me out. Like, fuck you. Like, whatever. And a bunch of people, Aubrey included, like, try to like coddle her and then like say, you know, like, oh, Tiff, it's not like that. And Tiff is like, listen, I know that if I didn't win today, you were voting me out. Is that true? And Aubrey's like, yes. And she's like, then I don't want to hear it. Yeah. Like, I know that you're trying to vote me out.
And Tiffany is so real for that. Like, that's what people just love about Tiffany. That's why I loved Tiffany so much this season, is just seeing how real she is. She's so straight up. She just says what needs to be said, but then she's not like bitter about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, really quick. I just had the thought. What was I saying before I went into this whole tangent?
You were talking about like winner picks, and then you were talking about history being made.
Okay. So just really quick, the history that was made, and then let's go through it chronologically.
Okay.
Rizzo and Jonathan both lose in fire, and in their previous seasons, and then they have to face off in fire. And that's like a first. So it's like, okay, one of you is going to break your curse, and one of you is not.
Yeah.
And then the other historic thing was that Jeff announced he spoiled, and he like spoiled in a live finale and announced who would lose before the entire audience knew, and it was just like hilarious.
Yeah, it was like,
wow.
Yeah, lots of Survivor firsts.
Is it a first that Joe in the final tribal gets 0 votes in like both of his seasons?
He got 1 vote in 48.
Oh, duh, he got 1 vote.
Yeah.
But I guess his third place, like, have played twice and they get third place both seasons.
I don't know if anybody has played twice and gotten third place both times. Joe joins, if we're talking about, records or first or whatever, Joe joins a small group of people that have never had their torch snuffed.
Right. That's what it was.
Michelle Fitzgerald. Mm-hmm. Joe Hunter now. And then if you include Medivacs, I guess to say people
Kyle.
that have played more than once that have never had their torch snuffed.
Yeah.
So if we're just talking by making it to the end, it's Michelle and Joe.
Crazy.
Yes, if you include Medivacs, then you've got Jenna Maraska and Kyle have never had their torch snuffed. And then I think technically Colton Cumbie has never had his torch snuffed because he got Medivac the first time and then quit.
He's so annoying.
Yes. And then, yes, we also have, then if you want to extend that definition even further, of like people that were never voted out but still had their torch snuffed, Rizzo and Jonathan have both never been voted out. They both had their torch snuffed.
Right.
But they were never voted out of the game.
Very technical, the fine print.
Yes.
But it's still interesting.
Yes, definitely. And I think Aubrey joins, granted there's not that many people that have played this many times, but Aubrey joins Boston Rob in that they're the two people that won on their 4th time.
I will die.
And I'll say it's interesting. That's an interesting comparison because Rob, I think, obviously played a much stronger game than Aubrey, but Aubrey's competition was way more fierce.
Way harder.
Than Boston Rob's. Boston Rob was playing with people like Philip and Natalie Tenorelli with Peace and Love.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Philip is crazy.
Yes, lots of interesting stuff that happens. So
very interesting. So what do you say we like go through the episode, and then as we talk about the people who get voted out, we can add their exit press for context, and then
yeah, definitely.
So Tiff loses in this immunity challenge. She knows her like head is on the chopping block, and it's a
very close challenge.
Really close challenge. Jonathan like takes a break while doing the puzzle, leans over the side and is throwing up, and then comes back and like...
And he only beats Tiff by like a fraction of a second.
Yes.
It was very intense.
It was so intense.
Yes.
And he did the most icky worm celebration dance.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, who knows what I would have done if you like win and you know that your like competition, someone you would lose to, loses and you get to vote them out. Like, it's exciting. It's exciting. The worm, unnecessary.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We love him anyway.
I think unnecessary is like a good word for just a lot of what Jonathan does in general.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
But somehow, like, the brain doesn't think, I'm going to do this thing. Maybe I shouldn't do this thing. But hey, it was his celebration.
Yeah.
Something that Sam and I were talking about on the way home from the finale is, like, sometimes it can be hard to talk Survivor with us when you're not in it like we are. Because it's like, they share a thought and then we're like, no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we had some of those little moments, and then I was able to take a step back. And so I have good things to say about Jonathan too.
Yeah.
But the worm was just like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Anyway, Tiffany, distraught.
Yes.
She goes home.
Yeah, she like goes to multiple people. Like she goes to Rizo and like is like, is there anything I can say?
Well, she's like trying to tell them Aubrey.
To get like, for you to like not vote for me. And Rizzo is really straight up. They're just like, no. Yeah. There's like nothing you can tell me. I'm decided. I'm voting you out. So yeah, then Tiff at the tribal, she's like, basically what she says in summary is like, Jeff, like, I know it's me tonight. I'm really here to just get some things off my chest. Yes. Before I'm ceremoniously voted out. And she basically is like, I want to know, like, why am I, like, everybody's saying, like, oh, you're the biggest threat. You've won this many challenges. Right. Like, Joe's won just as many challenges as I have. So, like, what is it about me that is so threatening? You know, and people kind of give their answers of, like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Like, kind of, like, beating around the bush a little bit. And Tiff is like, it sucks because I know there's, like, nothing I can do. And it's hard when that's, like, the rationale I'm given, knowing that, like, I'm not the only person that's won challenges. She says, like, when I win a challenge, it's, like, a catastrophe. But when the boys win a challenge, it's, like, they're dapping each other up. Yeah, good like, win. So what's going on? And in her exit press, she reveals that allegedly, because it wasn't shown and we weren't there, but she has no reason to lie about it. Allegedly, at this tribal council, Jonathan says to her, it's different because you're a girl. And I don't know what he means by that. I don't know if it's like, you know, oh, like a girl winning 3 challenges is more impressive than a guy doing it. I don't know if it's just like weird subconscious misogyny that we've seen from Jonathan on his previous season, like coming to the surface. I'm not calling Jonathan a misogynist by any means, but there's multiple instances where sometimes the way that he talked to women on his first season was like not taken well. So allegedly Jonathan says this statement to Tiffany, which I think provides some context as to why Final Tribal goes the way that it does. But then yes, like Alicia said, it's basically as soon as the conversation's done, like Tiff is out and she
can't play her shot in the dark.
Yes, she can't play her shot in the dark because it's expired. And she goes out, I wouldn't necessarily say bitter, but she tells Jeff like my flavor tonight is spicy. Yeah. So she gets voted out. She doesn't look at anybody. She doesn't say anything to anybody. She doesn't address them or say goodbye. She talks to Jeff and is like, it's been a pleasure being here. She gets a hug from Jeff and she leaves with a smile.
And as she's walking her out, she says, have a good night, Jeff.
Yes. And I love her.
She is so funny.
Yes.
One thing she was saying in her exit press is like, I will be honest. I'll say what I need to say. But I'm not going to be bitter. And she's not. Like, I don't think she is going to be a bitter, like, I'm holding it against you type person. And she took her role as a juror very seriously.
Yes.
And she's like, we are in Final Tribal forever, which we'll talk about. But she's like, I don't hold anything against anybody. I just, like, I guess I wanted more honesty as to why they're voting me out. It's like, it's because you can't beat me.
Yeah.
Like, that's why. That's why you can't beat me.
Yep.
And people, like, say that in their confessionals. They're just like, she is so well-liked. Like, everyone loves her. All of the cast loves her. I can't remember. Oh, it was in... So, Rob Cesternino did red carpet press after the live finale, as well as their, like, more formal exit interviews. And he told Tiffany, like, you could feel the air in the room at the live finale when Tiffany gets voted out. Everyone's just kind of like, oh, like, we love Tiffany. Like, dang it, you know? And so she'll be back, I think. I think she'll be back, and it'll be a great thing when she comes back. And we're sorry for everything we said about you, Tiffany.
Yeah, honestly, like...
you proved your spot.
And I'll say, like, on 46, like, I enjoyed Tiffany.
For sure.
Yeah, and like we said last week, like, still, like, when she was cast on 50, it still was kind of just like like, that's a pretty interesting casting choice.
Yeah.
But, like, at the end of the season, now I'm like, I'm so glad she was there. She was a very, like, refreshing presence. She was fierce, great competitor, really improved her game, had a ton of win equity. If there's another world where she just wins her way to Final Tribal, good chance that she wins the whole thing, right?
Do you think she beats out Aubrey?
I don't know. I think that was obviously her biggest competition, but if she wins immunity to the Final 5, those boys are voting Aubrey out.
For sure. Yeah, that's true.
So, like,
that's true.
Then, like, if Tiffany is able to win her way to the end, like, I think she's our winner of 50, and I think it would have been fierce, and it would have been puss, and I would have loved it. Because I really, especially, like, for somebody who got so sidelined during the pre-merge, like, I really, really enjoyed her on this season.
Same.
And yeah, like Alicia was saying, I'll take back and eat all the words I said about Tiffany. Loved having you here.
Well, and I will say, we were never like, take her off the cast, like, this is crazy. It was more of just a question mark.
Yeah.
And
but that question mark is an exclamation point.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. It's like, she answered that question.
100%.
Because we were all like,
totally.
Tiffany's interesting choice. Like, why Tiffany? Yeah. Like, there's so many other people that would do really well in this position. Yeah. And yeah, she answered back. Yes. She was like, I'll tell you why, I'll show you why. And it's an exclamation point. Yes. For sure. Yes. Love Tiffany. Yeah. Anything else from her exit interview?
Rob, like, asks her about, like, what did we not see? And she talks, like, pretty briefly about, like, stuff that was happening on Kahlo that we didn't really see. I don't think any of it was, like, super consequential, but she does say, I think that, like, she says something along the lines of, like, I wish that there was more of that drama that was shown, because I think that the dynamics of the merge would have been a lot more clear. Yep. Because, like, you know, she was working pretty closely with, like, Coach early on, and we didn't see that. So that's why when Coach is going around trying to get people to vote Tiff out in this split vote thing, that's why there's, like, all this fire from her and, like, this awkwardness of they're talking on the beach and Coach, like, can't lie to her about it. It's because, like, they had been working together. Yeah, like, they were cool. Dee, Camilla, Jonathan, Tiffany had a thing going. And Charlie, too. So, like, that's why there was some extra layers to, like, the Charlie blindside and then Jonathan blindsiding Camilla. Like, Chrissy and Tiffany. Tiffany said that she wasn't really the biggest, like, fan of Chrissy in the game, but, like, were working, like, had a relationship. Yeah, had a working relationship. So she was just like, there was a lot going on, and I kind of felt like going into the merge, Kahlo was going to be able to run things. But when I saw Charlie wasn't there, I was like, oh, shit. Like, something happened. And then Camilla getting voted out, and then Jonathan and Dee. And that's why Tiff was like, I kind of was on the bottom, but then I found Cirie, and then was working pretty closely with like Cirie. Then I was able to get back together with Jonathan. So she recovered really well, basically having her whole alliance kind of implode in the span of like 2 rounds.
Literally.
Like losing... And then Dee too, like 3 rounds. Like she loses Charlie, Camilla, and Dee, and now Jonathan is with these other people, and she's like, well, shit.
Yeah, cool.
And recovered really well.
Yeah, Jonathan and Coach were just like, you're on your own, Tiff. And she found her way. And I think it just speaks to how likable and lovable she is as a person. And the fact that she was able to mend things with Jonathan.
Yeah.
And probably with Coach. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Jonathan, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, I think could take some notes of her game just in terms of social play and making people feel more comfortable and just like they want to keep you around. Even if you're not what's best for their game, they're like, but we like you. Yeah. Like you should stay. And some people just have that. Yeah. And it's not something you can like train or learn or study. And she has it in spades, honey. She has it in spades.
She does.
So we love you, Tiff. And she looked so good. Oh,
I was going to say the hair.
The like crown and the like jewels and charms in her hair.
Whoever styled her, if she did it herself or if someone styled her, like literally gag worthy. She looked amazing.
Based on like the rest of the cast and some of the outfits, I was like, okay, they styled themselves. I think.
Well, if Tiff styled herself, then like even more props to her. Yeah. She looked the best at the finale.
She looked so...
It wasn't close.
Savannah
I'm not saying
incredible.
Everybody looked busted, but like, oh my God, Tiffany looked amazing.
We
like
just
Oscar-worthy hair, man. It looked incredible.
Yes. And we got more of like the close-up, like whatever of her.
She looked so good.
Because Savannah looked so good
I
in
wish
her
I
dress.
looked like Savannah. Oh my God.
I love Savannah. Yeah. Savannah, we love you.
We stan you,
love
girl.
you so much.
We've gone too soon.
Gone too soon. Never forgotten.
Yeah.
I was going to say super quick. This is very much a side note. And I struggle with yawning this late, but my little brother had his high school graduation today. Okay. And we had to be at the Marriott Center.
At the U?
No. Oops. Is that what it's called? Provo. BYU.
Oh, sorry.
They're
I was
like
thinking
basketball
of the Huntsman
arena.
Center. Yes. At BYU. Yes. Yes.
We had to be there at 8:00.
Ew.
And so we had to leave here at 7:15. I'm like, for the high school graduation, like I didn't know they started so early.
I think it's because they're doing multiple.
Oh yeah, because it was Skyridge High School,
yeah,
which had like 850 seniors. By the way, I think my graduating class was like 760 something, and it was like huge.
Mine was 430.
Oh my gosh, it was huge. Taylor, this graduation, I don't know what was making me so emotional. I cried like 5 times. Like,
really?
Streaming tears.
Oh my God.
And it's because they highlighted so many seniors and people graduating that had just incredible stories. This is a quick side note. Mm-hmm. One of them, his senior year, I think it was the beginning of his senior, maybe it was his junior year. Doesn't matter. He is a football player. He got like an injury that resulted in him needing to get an MRI, which resulted in them finding cancer in what's the type of cancer that's in your bones? Can't remember.
Bone cancer?
Bone cancer. There's some like scientific word. Anyway, he had to they removed like 3 of his ribs and then he did a ton of chemo. Yeah. Horrible. And he was at the graduation cancer-free.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
He was at the graduation cancer-free in remission. And they just like showed highlights of like at this football game, everyone like they made these shirts and like sold them for fundraising, and they fundraised a bunch of money, and everyone was like wearing the same shirts because he played football, and it's just so cute. I was like, oh, these kids are so sweet. And then he's there graduating. Okay, so that's story number 1. Story number 2, this adorable girl from Venezuela. She moved here 4 years ago, didn't speak a lick of English. Her parents immigrated here with her and her siblings so they could have like a better life, right? Mm-hmm. So she like starts school and has to learn everything and whatever. She's so cute, her accent speaking. She's beautiful. And then all of a sudden she was like, address her mom and dad in Spanish and just starts talking, and she's like crying, and it's so cute. And then she like pulls out this picture of them, and I don't speak Spanish, but I could tell it was like, I always kept you guys like in my heart and close to my heart, and I like always do. And she has this picture, tears. Tears. there's another one of this kid who moved here when Ukraine was going through all of their stuff, and he lives in that city
Kyiv.
Yes, he's from Kyiv. Anyway, and his dad had to stay over there for like work and whatnot, but his mom and his sister and him had to like move. They moved here for just like safety, education, all those things. And he was like graduating, and it was like, oh, I'm so happy. Anyway, I am literally crying through all of these highlights, like so proud of these kids. Like, what the heck? It was so weird. With all of that being said, I'm so tired.
That's okay. That's okay.
Like a total tangent. I'm like, some of these kids have such good survivor stories, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. Another one, he got a 36 on the ACT, graduated high school with 60 college credits completed. He started taking French his junior year, and he took this test that like gave him bilingual status. French. He started taking French his junior year. Wow. Bilingual already.
Wow.
I'm like,
leave some crumbs for the rest of us, girl.
Literally.
Corny and played out.
Attention much?
Yeah.
No, I was joking with my brother. I was like, what a nerd. Like, what a freaking nerd. But he's like, so cool. It's his moment to shine. Anyway.
What was that?
Total.
Did you hear that sound?
No.
Oh my God. You
What?
didn't hear that?
No.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
What?
I feel like I heard something in the mic, like in my ear. Like,
wait, that happened to me a couple episodes ago, and I was like, did you hear that? And you were like, no.
oh my God.
What did it sound like?
It kind of sounded like a, ooh.
No.
Yes. Either that or like a zipper. It also could have been like a zipper sound.
Yeah. Okay, wait. One other tangent. I'm sorry, and then we'll get back on. One more. This is crazy, though. So I listened to the John Deloney show.
Okay.
And he is like a therapist that takes calls and helps people with everything. This lady calls in. She's like, I have violent thoughts. And I have this anger. Oh, no. It was like.
Just kidding.
She literally was like, you know, she's like, I'm making food. I have a knife. And my thought will just be like, how many people could I kill with this knife right now? And she's like, if I walk into a room, it's like, how many people could I shoot and kill?
Yeah.
How many people could I kill until someone stops me?
Yeah.
And John's like, okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about this. Turns out she has like schizophrenia and needs serious help. Because she's like, I see people and hear things. And the violent thoughts are just like trying to test reality of like, well, if I stab this, are they real? Like it, and you just like feel something. And she'll have like blackout rage. Like she gets so angry, she literally blacks out.
Me too.
What?
Yeah, when Cirie got voted out, girl, I don't remember the next 4 days after that.
The way I wish that A, I was there, or B, Josh filmed it. Like,
oh, I was crying.
I
was going to say, I've heard a term for like a less extreme version of what you just described called the call of the void.
Oh,
where
what is this?
It's like, for example, you'd be like standing on a subway platform and you would never do it, but you have the thought of like, what would happen if I pushed somebody in front of the train?
Right.
Or like you're standing on the top of like a tall building and it would be like, what would happen? What if I just jumped?
That's the call of the void.
But it's like, you would never do it.
Of course not.
So like if I'm on Survivor and I'm on the same tribe as Coach, like what would happen if I like
push him in the fire?
Cut Coach's tongue out with the machete while he was sleeping? Like, I would never do it.
Right.
But, like, what would happen if I did
that?
What
would happen?
So I'd have to hear any more words coming out of his mouth. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for, like, the insane tangent.
That's
but
okay.
it was just, like, a bunch of exciting things that happened. Okay.
Tangent was probably more exciting than what we watched last night. So.
Maybe that's why I was like, wait, I want to share. So exciting.
Yes. So we get to the final. Yes. Get to the final four, and the boys are basically like, we can't let Aubrey win. Joe, Jonathan, and Rizo want to go to the end together. They. It wasn't highlighted a ton on the show, but this group of 3 guys plus Aubrey basically became a voting block during the Aussie vote.
Yeah.
And have been loosely working together to get to the final 4. So now that they're at the final 4, they're like, we can't let Aubrey win. She's only won 1 immunity in her entire career. So we're like, the odds are in our favor.
Between Jonathan and Joe, come on.
The fans, one of the things that we got to vote on was what the final immunity challenge would be. I actually don't remember what the other options were.
Me neither.
But there was 3 options and 41%, so almost half, voted for the challenge that we got, which is Simotion. Which, if you don't know the name, it's the challenge where they put a ball and it goes through like a metal railing, and every round the ball will switch directions. So either pop out of this side or it'll pop out of this side.
Yeah.
and then you add balls at regular increments, and you're doing it one-handed. So you kind of have to get good at managing, like, okay, how much am I spacing the balls apart? What side do I need to grab?
And it's tricky because it switches tracks.
Yes.
Because it's like starts as one track and then it opens up to two completely separate tracks.
Yep. So they get there and it's this challenge. This is a challenge that Jonathan has done before and lost. I believe that Joe did and lost.
I don't know.
Right? Let me look up, because I'm pretty sure that I know that.
Well, then would all of them have done it? Because
Rizzo didn't do it.
Oh, they didn't do it in 49.
Didn't do it.
What was their Final Four challenge?
Remember, it was the one where they had to. They did it on this season, where they had to like maneuver that thing out of the cage, and then do the table maze, and Sophie B like pulled it out at the end.
Right.
I'm looking up what the Survivor 48 final immunity was, because I'm pretty sure it was Samotion. Yeah, because Kyle won, but was it Samotion? It doesn't say. Let's see.
I don't know.
Final. Here we go. I should have looked this up before.
I don't think it was.
I feel like it was. Here, let's see. Wikipedia. Here we go. Yes, it was Samotion. So Joe had done it before and lost. Jonathan had done it before and lost. Aubrey had never done it, and Rizzo had never done it.
What am I doing? Opening chips while a podcast? How am I expecting to eat these? I need help. My ADHD meds have worn off.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm just like, oh, chips, that looks good.
So they're doing the challenge, and everybody is doing really well for a long time. Like, I believe everybody gets to like four or five balls.
Which is
the most that they've ever done. Or like the cap, I guess.
Yeah.
And something I heard... so Aubrey, she ends up winning the challenge. Something that the Exit Press stated is that Aubrey and Jonathan were the final two, or was it? No, it was Aubrey and Joe were the final two.
I don't remember.
I feel bad that I don't remember because it was last night.
Don't feel bad.
Whoever it was, they said that the last two people they had 5 balls going for 15 minutes.
Sorry. I thought you meant who was the final two when Joe did it the first time. I was I don't remember.
Like, who were the last two left?
It was Aubrey and Joe.
Okay, yeah. So Aubrey and Joe had 5 balls in their contraption going for over 15 minutes.
Long time, yeah.
So, which is crazy. So Aubrey ends up pulling it out, like at the last moment, which my boyfriend Josh has said, because they've done Samotion quite a few times, but Josh has said, it's really interesting because in the new era, I feel like almost always the final immunity challenge is won by
the person who has not won anything.
And like the person who like is not supposed to win.
Yeah.
Like we had Romeo, he won Samotion on 42. Sophie B won the final immunity on 49. On 46, Ben won the final immunity. On like 44, it was Heidi. Like we just had like a bunch of like people that you would not expect to win or didn't win a lot of challenges, like you said, win it.
Yeah, it's just like the complete underdog, hasn't won a thing. So that part of me, I was like, is Rizzo going to win this? But Rizzo is just like starving to death and tired and is not good at challenges at all. Turns out Aubrey ordered a Samotion like challenge thing off of Etsy and has been practicing that nonstop. She said that is the one challenge that she has been practicing.
Yeah, she said when I saw what the fan vote was for, I bought that on Etsy, and like Alicia said, it was the only thing that I practiced, and it came in clutch because she won, and with that, Aubrey secured her spot in the final 3.
Yeah. I looked on Etsy. I can't find it.
So. Yeah, I don't know if CBS was like, hey,
take that down.
Stop it. But yeah, they get back to camp and Aubrey very quickly has her mind made up. She tells Joe pretty quickly, I'm taking you to the end. And she tells Rizzo and Jonathan, like, hey, you're going to fire so that you practice.
Right. And which turns out in Exit Press as well, Aubrey and Joe had a great relationship. Yes. They had a really good working relationship where they could just look at each other and laugh and be like, we hate these people. Yeah. And they don't actually. But anyway, I just thought that was cute. They like found sanity and like safety in each other.
Yeah.
And so she was like, yeah, I'm taking you. And he's like, awesome. Yeah. So happy, so moved.
Yes. So Joe, like as we said earlier, he is a back-to-back final tribal attendee and joins the list of people that have never had his torch snuffed. Aubrey's going back to the final tribal for the second time. And then Rizo and Jonathan are both in the same spot they were on their first seasons.
Yeah.
Final Four fire making challenge. Jonathan has been practicing a ton outside of the game and has been making fire every day in the game. Rizo hasn't done any practicing, so it kind of initially seems like it's going to be a blowout. But just like Joe helped Eva practice in 48 and kind of how Jam Jam helped Carson practice in 44, Joe starts coaching Rizo. And I think it's just because Joe is like a good person.
He is.
And like did not want to see Rizo get blown out like that.
Well, he was like, you need both people to have a sword in a sword fight.
Yes.
Like, come on. It's not even going to be a fight if he like doesn't know anything. And he just can't watch someone suffer and struggle. And Rizzo's losing it.
Yeah.
Like he's crying. He's breaking down. He's like giving up, which is not like Rizo.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I can't do this.
Yeah. He says like, it is so hard to swallow the fact that like, I've made it this far again. And the same thing could happen to me again. Like, I have been wanting to like represent my family and my Albanian community, and you know I'm just like, damn it. He's like, I'm kicking myself like, damn it, Rizo, like why are you in this position again?
Great question, Rizo. It actually pissed me off a little bit because I'm like, clearly it didn't traumatize you enough that you lost in fire because you've been on the island. You've been surrounded by people that can make fire.
Yeah.
Like, you should have been practicing.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't use the word should often when it's like, you should have done this, you should have done that. Rizo, there's no excuse. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Like, you totally could have been practicing. Everyone, like, it was laughable that he lays around and does nothing in camp. And I get that he was, like, so sick and so exhausted and starving and just, like, not well. But trying to make fire doesn't require a ton of energy. It's just like learning the motions. So was it really that hard, Rizo? Maybe like you gotta learn the lesson a couple of times.
Yeah.
Because it would have been so fun to watch him pitch in Final Tribal because we've never seen him sit in Final Tribal. And obviously he's only played twice. Like there's probably more to come. But anyway, so keep going. Joe helps out Rizo.
Joe helps Rizo, and it gets to the point, at least in the edit, that like Rizo is starting to learn how to make fires pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like, so then it's shaping up to be like, oh, this will be like an interesting battle of like, you know, who's it going to be? Like
Jonathan's nervous.
Someone's going to have the same thing happen to them again. Somebody's going to like reverse their curse.
Which is crazy. That is kind of exciting.
It's the only time we've had people do fire making more than once ever.
Wild.
Yeah, so then we get to the thing that Alicia alluded to earlier, where at this point in the show, so throughout the finale, they're showing the finale, and then they cut to like the live reunion. So, you know, when Tiffany got voted out, Jeff talks to her. We'll talk about what he did with Cirie later, but like he talks to Cirie at one point. He talks to the pre-jury at one point. So at this point, we're at the final four tribal, and they're getting ready to do fire, and then they cut to the live reunion. So we haven't seen it yet. And Jeff brings Rizo out on stage with the jury. And I remember when we were watching this thinking like, oh, it's interesting that he's talking to Rizo right now. But I was like, well, maybe this is just the point in the show where he's going to highlight Rizo because it's like, oh, he was like the back-to-back 49-50-er.
Right.
So I was like,
yeah, like,
odd.
Okay.
But anyway, so then he's talking to Rizo and, you know, they're bantering. And then Jeff is like, all right, then, like, with that, like, Rizo, you can go take your seat, and Rizo is our final member of the jury.
Well, and he asked, he's like, so how did you feel, like, losing in the fire?
Yeah.
And Rizzo's like, oh, well, I haven't seen it yet, Jeff.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, what? Like,
yes. And so then we're at home like, what?
Yeah.
What? Like, oh my God, did this just happen?
Well, and for a second we were like, did we miss it somehow?
Yes,
we were like, did we miss
We were like, did the broadcast,
fire?
I was like, oh, the broadcast got glitched. Like,
because it was like a little glitchy.
I was like, we missed it. Like somehow the satellite, like, yeah, I was like, oh my God. Like,
crazy.
But yeah, so then Jeff is like, I don't know what just happened. We'll be right back. And we were like, oh my God. Like, Did he just spoil the outcome? So then when they come back from commercial, Jeff is like, hey, so here's what
Jeff's
happened.
Laughing.
It's live TV. We got mixed up and I let you know what happened. We're going to show you the fire making challenge now. Mm-hmm. So we already know that Rizzo loses, which makes it like very interesting watching it. First time in Survivor history that I think we've ever seen like a live
something get
flub
spoiled
like that. Yeah, like obviously things get spoiled every season because people leak it online,
but not
like
by the hand.
Yeah, by production or by Jeff. It was so wild, and he recovered very well.
Yeah.
But
it was like we were all cringing so bad.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, thank goodness though it's Jeff, because he's been doing live television for so long.
So long.
Obviously, it's been too long since we've done a live reunion.
Oh, and you better believe they will never do one again after this.
I'm so mad. They're the best.
And I was gonna say it wasn't even really a reunion. Because they did very little reunionisms.
Which bothered me.
Thing. Like, after the votes are read for the winner, they talk to each of the finalists for like maybe 45 seconds.
Maybe.
Like, we don't hear a single word from, I don't think, we heard from Cirie, Tiff, Rizzo, Jonathan, Joe, and Aubrey. I don't think a single other contestant said a word that we heard or was featured the entire rest of the time.
It was just the finalists, I guess Mike and
White,
Cirie.
because he wasn't there. And was talking about the White Lotus. But yeah, so I hesitate to even call it like a reunion. It was more of like a live finale
viewing
is what it was. It was like a live finale because they didn't really do a reunion, and that's like what would be fun.
It bothered me because I'm like,
oh, I lied. We also heard from Ozzy and Steph because they give Ozzy the cringy t-shirt.
Right. And Christian.
Yes, and Christian and Rick too. Okay,
so never mind.
Well, we heard from like half the cast,
but it wasn't like, tell us how you feel about this.
It wasn't really
that.
more of like a reunion.
No.
Yes.
So,
and also, can I just say something too really quickly, just because I feel like I need to say this.
Please.
Like, never ever thought I would say this in my life ever. Why did Rick Devens look kind of hot at the finale?
He looked good.
Like, I never ever thought I would say that. Ever. Peace and love to Rick Devens.
Right.
Never thought I would say that. I don't necessarily, I mean, this is going to sound terrible, whatever. Like, I don't necessarily have super high standards. I feel like I can find a lot of hotness in various kinds of men and women too. Women are hot too, but I'm, sexually attracted to the men. But man, oh my God, at the finale, he looked great. He had a really nicely trimmed beard. He had lost some weight. His hair, his suit looked like great. Tan. Oh my God, Devens he looked nice. He looked like a snack. I never thought I would say that. So shout out to you, Rick Devens. Call me.
Yeah, he really looked good.
He did. He looked great.
That's hilarious.
It was crazy.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
The season was so good to him.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Christian was still wearing his same like robot shirt, which is great.
Yeah.
And they had their cute like Captain Kirk and Spock thing. And then they humiliated Ozzy by making him a t-shirt that just says Ozzy.
We love you, Ozzy.
Please play your idol.
Idol.
Please play your idol.
Yeah.
And who did they talk to with him again?
Stephanie.
What did she say? I don't know. Don't care.
Jeff was like, you're like one of the OG, like power women of Survivor. Like, people just love you. And I was like, oh my God. Like, why is it? And just like, why is it that like with Stephanie, we only ever talk about Palau? I'm so sick of that. Every time she's played, like, I guess every time, like, on Heroes versus Villains, like, the rationale for casting her as a hero was just Palau.
Right.
And now they always bring up, like, oh, Stephanie, like, she was such a hero. People loved her. And it's like, are we forgetting the fact that she played 2 more times and was completely insufferable those 2 other times?
She was a villain. Peace and love.
I get that it's an edited product. I've never met Stephanie, so whatever. But, like, oh my gosh, on Guatemala and on her 2 episodes of Heroes vs. Villains, insufferable girl. My God. Like, Jesus. Like, I'm so sick of Stephanie LaGrossa. I'm so glad that this season is over and that I never have to see her on Survivor ever again. Her journey's done for sure.
Glad.
Because, my God, we'll talk about Final Tribal with her too, but like, so delusional, so like not with it, dumb, bigoted. We've talked about that before. Like, it's so sick of her, of her
and
ass.
It's like,
I can't stand her.
No, I can't either. And you would think like that you would hope. I should say you would hope. You would hope that after CBS has seen what she has said publicly about Jewish people, that they wouldn't like try and involve her too much in the finale, in the like live TV. But it's like, no, and they did. Yeah, like it's just kind of surprising.
She had said stuff like we had talked about, like she had said plenty of things before she said the thing about Eliza and being Jewish.
Yeah,
like Stephanie has like used slurs on Survivor before
on television.
Like, and yes, it was a different time.
Yeah. And
but like there was plenty of people that didn't use slurs on her season 2. Yeah. There's plenty of people that didn't say that stuff.
Well, and I'm all for people like learning and then changing their behavior and like taking accountability and being like, I know better now.
For sure.
But those words like don't come out of her mouth. But no. You know what?
You'll never hear Stephanie saying I was wrong.
No.
Because even at the live finale or even at Final Tribal, the very first thing Stephanie's like, hey, by the way, can you clarify whose idea it was to get Ozzy out?
Okay, thank you, Jonathan.
Because it wasn't mine. So like all the people that were trying to go after me, like you were wrong.
Yeah, we're like, okay.
And you're like, okay, like guess what? Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Guess what, Steph? Nobody cares. People wanted to vote you out anyway. It doesn't matter if it wasn't your idea. You were going home. Bye.
And like maybe it's funny because it's like, was she trying to help Jonathan by like giving him like, hey, take the credit? Or was she trying to be like,
it was both.
Clear my name?
It was both.
And I think it was both.
Yeah.
And then just with her statement towards Jonathan about how he's just the total package. He's the total package. He's the total package.
I sent you an Instagram. Did you see it? I want to play it. It's so funny.
And people are just like, Kate, is there going to be a question? Yeah. She's like, yeah, there's a question. I promise.
Tiffany says that.
Yeah. It's
so funny. Yeah.
So funny.
So this person is doing like an impression of Stephanie's jury statement to Jonathan.
It's so funny.
What I love about Jonathan is his package. Jonathan is the full package. Jonathan's full package. I also love Jonathan's love that he's the full. I love that he voted for Trump.
Because the context of this is that like Stephanie, you know, so anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Rizo loses fire.
Yeah.
So he's the final member of the jury. Really quickly, final 3 wakes up. They get surprised with their loved ones.
That's
on
another
day
historical
26,
moment.
Never
happened.
To have breakfast with them, and then they go to Final Tribal. Anyway, so we're at Final Tribal. We're hearing from the jury, and you know the jury is kind of like asking their questions and this and that, and then Stephanie, it's like Jeff is like, Stephanie, it's your turn, and she's like, okay, like I want to talk to Jonathan, and like Jonathan, I just want to say that like I think you played the best game. Like you're always opening coconuts. Like you really embrace like the old school and the new school together. Because in like old school, it's all about like winning challenges and like having a super solid alliance and this. And the new school is about like, you know, all this crazy strategy. And I felt like you did like, and then at one point, Tiffany is like, is there going to be a question? And then Stephanie's like, there is going to be a question.
It's coming. Hold on.
And everybody was just like rolling, like Cirie rolls her eyes and stuff like, God, like, my God. It's something I said, because obviously she votes for Jonathan. In my group chat with my cousins that watch Survivor, we were talking about it, and I was like, listen, if Stephanie is voting for you to win Survivor, that should be a red flag for you. You should be like, I did something wrong. Something is wrong with me that Stephanie was like, oh, that's who I want to win.
I see myself in you.
Red flag, girl. Stephanie's voting for me. I'm like, I need to talk to a psychiatrist because something's going on. Something's going on with me.
Listen, I think, well, if it were Rizzo, Tiffany, Joe, would Stephanie vote for Tiffany because Tiffany could be like,
no,
Steph, I was a challenge beast. I was a physical. No. They didn't get along very well.
You think Stephanie's gonna vote for a woman? Hell no. No way.
Well, then she wouldn't vote for Rizzo.
She's voting for Joe. 100%.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that if the final three is Rizzo, Joe, and Tiff, that Coach, Jonathan, Chrissy, Stephanie contingent, they're voting for Joe.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah. And, well, I don't know. I feel like Coach, I don't think Coach would.
Did you not hear what Coach was saying to Joe during the season? Like, man,
no,
you won 48. Like, that, like, inspired me to be out here. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't say 100%, but, like, I'm very confident.
Very confident.
That those people, they love to smell their own farts. They love honor and integrity. Anybody that gets up there and it's like honor and integrity, Coach is like, yeah, give it to me. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Honor and integrity. Like, that's what Coach is doing. They would be voting for Joe.
Yes. And the thing that I do love, like, I do love Joe. And Joe gets lumped in with all of them because he's like an honored and integrity person. But it's not like Coach where he like claims to be. He like legitimately just is.
Oh, yeah. Coach and like all those people are like hypocritical about it. Joe is such a good person. And he's honestly is, gold. And that's why he's like not good at Survivor.
Yeah,
is because
he's just
that's
gold.
Like so much of who he is. And Jonathan, we said this in an earlier episode, but Jonathan like came out on social media and was like, "Hey, just to clarify, I was not involved in that like pregame Zoom
thing,
MAGA alliance. Like I was not in that. Don't lump me in there. I was not included."
And he says that again, like emphatically in his exit press. Yeah. He's just like, "I was never." Ever a part of any pre-gaming, 0 phone calls, 0 exchanges, no Zoom meetings. Like I never did any of that. And I'm like really proud of that. And Rob's like, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tiffany, or why do I keep saying that? Steph, I think the memory I'll just keep of her in my mind is the Palau version of her because that version of her inspired me.
Oh, 100%.
But you know what? As much as like all Steph talks about is Palau, all Aubrey talks about is freaking Korong.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they did you see the Instagram reel I sent you where Michelle and Aubrey like took a picture together at the finale?
Yes, and it's awkward.
And all the comments are like the years of lore behind this photo. The fact that Michelle has been living in Aubrey's mind rent free for 10 years. Like
10.
So crazy. Yeah, I think the memory of Stephanie that I'm always going to have of her, like the version, is going to be the version of her that drunkenly ranted on Instagram Live. That's what I'm always going to see. There's a screenshot that people post on Reddit a lot of her where she's like pointing at the camera.
Can you find it?
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to see it. That is so crazy.
It might take me a while to find. I'll find it.
Okay, I'll find it later.
Yeah, I'll find it.
That is just crazy behavior.
You can put it in post. You can put it right here. We'll show the picture I'm talking about.
Rent free.
Yeah. Yes. So Joe Rizzo with Peace and Love, I was going to say, he basically is like a non-factor in this final tribal.
Do we want to talk about Rizzo?
Wait, what about Rizzo?
Just his loss and any insight he gave us in exit press.
Oh,
because we do have plenty.
Sure. Yes. Yeah.
So I think one of the first ones being that he really had a solid thing with Jonathan and Joe after the Aussie vote. And like he knew that he didn't want to sit next to Cirie and Aussie in the end. So it's just a matter of when when he would jump ship.
Yeah.
And obviously he's like, none of this was in the edit because it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
But it's just like added context. So Jonathan and Joe were like, we feel like we have the fairest shot with the three of us.
Yeah.
Which I think is true.
Yeah.
And I do think like Rizzo and Jonathan going head to head at Tribal would have been really interesting. Anyway, so that's the first thing he says.
Yeah. I thought that he made a really, really good point about why he didn't tell Ozzy to play his idol. Because he's like, I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and like the reason that I didn't do it is because like Aubrey came to me and was like, Ozzy just laid out his whole game to me, and I was included in it. Like, he had told Aubrey, like, I'm working with Cirie and Rizzo. And Rizzo says in his exit interview, like, if I tell Ozzy to play his idol, then I am going to be perceived as, like,
his pet.
Yeah, it's like Ozzy and Cirie's pet that just like did whatever they wanted me to do. And I was going to have no win equity and nobody would ever like take me seriously. And if I wanted a shot to win, I had to cut them. And I think that like that's really good awareness of the game and stuff. Like, yes, does it suck that like that's what happened? Because it would have been amazing to see like a Cirie or an Ozzy win. Yes. But with that added context, because I know for a while you and I, especially on the pod, had like thought about like, was this a good move or not for Rizo? I think I can pretty safely say that it was.
Absolutely.
I think in a world where Aubrey is not there, I think it's a pretty fierce battle between him and Jonathan. Because Jonathan, yes, is obviously, no matter what, getting Coach, Chrissy, and Steph. Rizo is like, I'm very confident that I was getting Cirie, I was getting Tiffany, I was getting D, and I would probably get Aubrey. So then it really comes down to who wins over the contingent of
Emily,
Devins, Emily, Christian, and then also
Chrissy.
Chrissy's going for
Chrissy's
Jonathan. And then also Ozzy. Because one thing that Rizo also says is that him and Ozzy
are not good.
Are probably not in the greatest place because Rizo feels that Ozzy blames his loss on Rizo.
Which I think is... He takes ownership. He's like,
fair.
Yeah.
But like, I want to make it clear, Ozzy, that like the reason that you're out, it's not just Rizo.
No.
It's because you made a really, really bad move.
It's just that Ozzy and Rizo were in a boat together. Ozzy decided to shoot a shotgun at the ground and blow a hole through, like open. And instead of Rizo fixing it, he just decided to jump out.
To leave, yeah.
He's like, I'm good.
And he was fierce for that.
And he was. Yeah. He was so fierce for that. Yes, another thing that he was saying, he's just so sweet and tender, and he gets so emotional about, like, I'm just a kid, like, with his dream and, like, trying to fulfill his dream. And Rob Sesternino was like, Rizo, you've done that. Like, you did that. And he's like, I see just a younger version of myself in you because you, like, love the game so much. And you could tell that, like, meant a lot to him. Yeah. The thing that confused me a little bit is he kept referring to the online feedback to his gameplay and that he's a polarizing player. You're either in one camp or the other. I didn't really get that vibe.
Oh, I totally could see.
And maybe it's just because I love him.
Polarizing. Yeah, I love him too. But like Josh warmed up to Rizo, but like I can totally see Rizo being polarizing because like there's self-awareness to his like RIZGOD Riz God Baby persona, but it also like Rizo is really, really confident in himself and wants to be amazing and works really hard to be amazing. And I think that some people can perceive that as like cocky, deluded, arrogant, like naive. And all those things may also be true, but I'm like, Rizzo's a good kid.
He's such a good kid.
He's smart. He's nice. He's...
Takes care of his family.
He's fun. Yeah, like even at the finale when or at final after he gets eliminated, when you know Rizo talks about like I've started watching this when I was 8 with Token Cheens, and I've like looked up to all these people. And Jeff says to him, like, there's probably, like, 8-year-olds watching this now that are going to be, like, inspired by you. Yeah, like, it was so cute. Like, I totally resonate with that because that's around the time I started watching with season 16. Yeah. So, like, right around the same time Rizo started watching. And I feel the same way. I'm, like, Survivor has, like, shaped my life since I was, like, 10 or 11.
Crazy.
And it's, like, I still think about it all the time. Like, even now, and I'm turning 30. So it's been like 20 years of my life almost.
Wow.
And I just am like, so I relate to Rizo a lot on that of like, that would be a big part of my Survivor journey too. It's just like, wow, I am here.
And I think it's, so many fans started watching when they were little. And I think Rizo obviously has really high expectations for himself because something he was saying is like, you could tell when he loses fire, obviously you would be distraught because I mean, who wouldn't want to just make it to the end and make more money? But it's like, I wanted to at least like do better and I wanted to prove to myself that I could like break this.
Yeah.
And he's just down and out. And I think it's Aubrey who says like, hey, You know, coming from someone who's played this and it's not gone well, you can't base your game and like whether it was good or bad or what you're going to take away from it based on like the outcome of the game, like if you won or lost.
Yeah.
Because then most people would leave hating Survivor and hating themselves and being just like so down and out.
Yeah.
So it's like, Rizo, you did so good.
Yeah.
You did so good. He then talks about his idol play, and he was like, to the people that think I was just a kid like playing with my idol, there was so much behind that where like I wasn't just crossing my fingers being like, I hope I don't get voted out and I could hold on to this one more time. He talks about how well he is socially integrated into all of these different relationships. He always knew where the votes would be, so he knew he didn't have to.
He says like, I was aligned like with Cirie, who knew everything, and I was her number one ally. So like I didn't just get lucky, like you said. I leveraged the fact that I had the person that had all the information.
Yeah, definitely.
Helping me through it.
And he also did it in 49, where he didn't as much like need to get it from someone, whereas he was like making so many of the decisions, I felt, and he was just with people that would inform him, being like Savannah or Jawan might let it slip, or just people like that. He's like, it wasn't luck. It was strategy. It was like leveraging my social game, the social capital that I have in the game, that I didn't have to guess like if I needed to play it or not. Rob C asks him like, do you think this will change the future of idol play? And Rizzo's like, I don't know. Like maybe, maybe not, but I feel like people will be targeting idols like a lot faster again because of like how he's played it.
He says that he feels like if anything will change, he thinks he might see more of what Aubrey did, where if people have an idol, they'll very publicly get rid of it. Because...
Which we've seen before.
And here's what I'll say too about that. We talked a lot of smack on Aubrey for doing that. And it seems like that was honestly like really important for her game.
It was really smart.
It seems like that's something that kind of propelled her to the win because people could stop worrying about her because they're like, oh, Aubrey doesn't have an idol. She has no allies.
Yeah, we're
so
fine.
Like, I will own up to the fact that like hindsight is 2020. So obviously we see the whole story now, but like Aubrey, you were smart to do that, and you're smarter than me at Survivor. So it's good that you threw your idol away when everyone was telling you to do it. Because that would be maybe my fatal flaws. If everybody was telling me to get rid of it, I'd be like, make me play it, bitch.
You won't.
Do it.
We need you
make
out there.
Me play it. Make me play it. You better write my name down tonight.
We need you out there.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love it. That's how Venus would do it, girl.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, Venus, if anything, but would before there's even the discussion of getting rid of your idol, Venus would be yelling at people already for no reason.
Absolutely.
And she's fierce for that.
She is.
If I'm going to emulate anybody when I'm out there, it's going to be a combination of like Abby Maria and Venus Fafa, girl. There's going to be I'm going to be on a tribe with Stephanie. She's like the captain. And I'm going to be cutting a coconut. And just like she threw a coconut at Mike Scoopin's head, I'm going to be like, oh my God, it fell out of my hand, Steph. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I never played sports. Gosh.
Oh my God. Abby Maria was so ahead of her time with that, especially considering what Scoopin's up to now.
She's crazy. Yeah. I love her. Yeah. Oh, Taylor, you're a gem.
Thank you.
You're so funny.
Thank you.
And you know a lot about Survivor.
I
Aubrey was on for that. Like she knew. One other thing I'll say about Rizo, and he was saying this in context to Aubrey's game.
Yes.
He was just like, I felt like she was floating without a purpose. Because we knew she was like a floater, but I was just like confused. Like why? It wasn't making sense. I never knew where her head was at until the Aussie vote. Then he was kind of like, okay, I have a better idea. So it's like she had to, and she talks about this in her interview, it's like she had to just get rid of that idol so she wasn't top of mind anymore. She wasn't in conversation anymore of like, well, should we flush her idol, blah, 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 blah. And so that people could trust her a little bit more because they already got the feeling that she's like a little ratty and shifty, and they're like, we can't trust her. She's a psycho.
She's crazy.
She's psycho. She's so quirky. And Anyway, so that was such a good read from her. So good job, Aubrey.
Yeah.
Okay, final tribal.
Yeah. So
final tribal
as we had
council.
said, like, there's already a pretty big contingent, or maybe not big, but like Jonathan has like 3 votes locked in. And you can tell
we know
based on the questioning that Chrissy and Steph are going to bat for Jonathan. Because there's multiple times where Aubrey will say something and then Chrissy like, can you clarify that for me? Like, what specifically are you talking about? It seemed like this final tribal more than anything that like there were very specific answers that people were looking for. I felt like we had very specific questions being asked, and like that was kind of informing like the way that the jury was going to vote. There wasn't really like much like drama besides this like Stephanie, is there going to be a question thing?
Yeah, I do think there was, I guess not drama, but just like some shady comments or just like things. It's not shade because it's real. It was so real, and Cirie is so real for this. But when she was just like, Joe, can you please explain to me like why then we needed to have Jotations? And he was just so uncomfortable and sad. And I was just like, I literally wanted to crawl inside of my body and just hide. I was like, oh my gosh, bless his heart. But we need that. We need that.
Yeah. Cirie, so Jotation, it's like a portmanteau of Joe and rotation, where Cirie is basically saying like everybody had to take turns babysitting you through votes. And it was like really, really challenging because we kind of had to like manage what you were doing. And Emily makes the comment of like, yeah, we had to do that, but like every vote had to go through you. So like,
which I did want to touch on this because I loved that comment from Emily. And I think she's like trying to give Joe a shot and being like, if you're going to explain to us anything that's of value, it's answering this question. Because Joe was in a position all of the time where people needed him as a number. Like they need his number. And what Joe did was like, people basically successfully persuaded him to not do what he wanted and to just like go their way. But then people would need to like babysit him all of the time. And what I so wish for Joe is that in the future, because he says he would love to play again, he's able to see that as opportunity and leverage that and be like, I can use this as a way to get what I want. Like, I don't just have to do what all of these people are telling me just for the sake of like being flexible, which is ironic because he's not flexible and he's not someone that's easy to work with. So it's like, if you're going to be difficult to work with, just do what you want anyway. Like, do what you want and then own that and be like, I was the swing vote and this is how I directed it in the way that I wanted every time. One move that would have been so good for him is if he decided to go blow it all to Ozzy and being like, I'm going to tell you to play your idol right now because I want you here. And like they didn't need to. They chose to like involve and convince Joe because he would be so upset in the future. But it's like he could have taken that move and saved Ozzy and been like, I am blowing up everyone else because this is what I want. And everyone's just like kind of telling me what to do and I'm going to stick up for what I want. Anyway, he has more power than he thinks in the game, but he just doesn't have that strategic mind to be like, here's how I'm going to use it for me.
Missing a bit of the...
just the cutthroat, the bloodthirsty. And I think, like, also the vision. I don't think he, like, maps out his path to the end. It's just, like, he finds himself there somehow. And it is because he is loyal. Like, he's a loyal dude.
Very loyal dude.
Okay, obviously he doesn't win.
Yes.
But this is that comment from Emily, I think, was, like,
Joe gets,
a softball for him.
He gets third place. Two times.
Nice. And you know what? His exit press was so happy for me because 48 wrecked him. Mental low. I mean, obviously he's been through a lot in his life. And like in 48, he also talks to Kyle about their experiences being like incarcerated and stuff. And that's hard. I'm sure those were some lows.
And his sister. Yeah,
everything with his sister. Anyway, he's just such a softie. And so I was expecting to see him be so distraught. And he was so positive. He was like, you know what? I look at this and I'm like, I made it to the end twice. That's incredible. Like, that's so good. And I, like, changed my game a little bit, and I knew I would have to do that, and he did. Like, he played a lot more strategic this time around, which was so great.
Yeah.
One thing he talked about, you can tell he, like, there's not a lot of Joe fans online, especially the gamers are probably just like, Joe is dumb. He cried when Rob Sesternino just like said positive things about him, and he's just like, I love you. And Joe's like, he doesn't say that, but Joe's like, I love what you do, Rob, and you just like you always stay so in the middle, and you give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You always see their perspectives. And he's just like crying. He's like, you're just so great at what you do, and I just like really appreciate you. I was like, woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Anything else from Joe and his exit press?
I think we're good on Joe. There wasn't too much. His acting debut is nigh at hand.
Yes.
Maybe we'll review it on the pod. Probably not, but.
Oh, him and Devins are good.
Yes.
He did say that, and that they've like met each other's families, and he like cried when he met his family.
They worked it out on the remix, one might say.
They worked it out on the remix.
The Charlie XCX of it all.
They did. Yes.
Yeah.
And the other thing was his relationship with Rizo. He's like, I just felt like a father figure. And obviously it was different with Eva and like how vulnerable she was with him and the bond they created. But it was that similar like father figure thing. Okay, do we want to just talk about Jonathan? Do we want to just talk about the rest of Final Tribal? Was there any other interesting...
I don't really know if there's like anything else about Final Tribal that like really needs a discussion.
Oh,
just because...
I think there is one thing.
Okay.
And it was the Aussie vote. Because there was a lot of discussion about that.
Yeah, there was some tug of war around...
There was tug of war.
Like, who did it. Aubrey says that, like, I put the nail in your coffin. And Jonathan's like, well, I don't really know if I agree with that because, like, I went to, like, Cirie and Tiff.
Yeah, he's like, we were planning this before I went over to you.
Got the ball rolling. So, yes, there was definitely some tug of war in terms of, like, who got the credit.
What are your thoughts on it?
I thought Aubrey put it well in her exit press where she was like, I don't really know if there was any one vote in 50 that was like unilateral where like one person decided it. I think I would disagree with her and say there was one vote that was like that. And I think it was the Christian Hubicki Mike White blindside. I think that was like all Christian.
Yeah, that was 100%.
But Aubrey's like, I don't think that there was ever any votes that were like just one person getting what they wanted. And it was more like everybody had parts to play. And she was like, I played my part that day really, really well. And I don't think it wouldn't have happened if I did that. Yeah. So she's saying like, I don't think that I got the sole credit for doing it. But she's like, Ozzy laid out his whole game to me. And I was able to use that, and she says that Final Tribal to get, like, Joe on board with it and be like, you're not part of his plans. So, and here's... you know, like, who gets more or less credit for it? It's kind of hard to say. But, like, I lean towards Aubrey just because it's, like, she was going home that night by all intents and purposes, and, like... didn't go home. Yeah,
here's where I actually disagree because I think Jonathan...
You think it was Jonathan?
Because she wasn't going home because Jonathan came over before even talking to Aubrey, knowing that he wanted Ozzy to be his target. And he just wanted to see if Aubrey was open to it. And she was like... And then she says, well, this is what just happened. And Jonathan's like, great, because that's what I'm thinking. I also think, yes, she played her part in convincing Joe, but they didn't need Joe. So it's like, yeah, you convinced Joe, but you could have not, and you guys didn't need him. And the other thing that was her part in like convincing Ozzy was just to act dead and sad, which is the easiest part to play. So that's where I'm like, I actually disagree with you, Aubrey. And I think she did a good job like twisting it and whatever. Like, I'm not saying she didn't deserve to win and Jonathan should have won, but that's where I'm like, I disagree with her. And I think Jonathan had the harder part to play in convincing Ozzy, who he was already really close with, and having to like lie to him. And he was like, we don't have to include Joe, but I guess they did. And Aubrey did a great job selling it to the person they didn't need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
Where it's just like, it would have mattered more if Joe's vote was like critical for that to go through, but his vote wasn't. So it's like, Aubrey, yeah, you sold it to Joe. Like, that's great. You guys had a great relationship and you like...
you could argue that, like, the reason that they didn't need Joe's vote is because Aubrey went to Rizzo and was like, Ozzy just blew up your whole game.
No, it's true.
And, like, Rizzo was like, well, shit, like, Aubrey knows that me and Cirie and Ozzy are a trio now.
Yeah, and I do agree that it wasn't like a unilateral decision, and that it wasn't driven by one or the other, and they did all have parts to play that were important. I just think Jonathan had a bigger part to play in that vote.
Okay.
That's that was a thought that I had after their discussion about it in Tribal, because I'm like, yeah, you sold Joe and you were going home. Actually, no, you weren't going home, because Jonathan was like, I don't want to go for you. I want to go for Ozzy. Anyway, that was my thought.
Yeah.
I think, like, you could see Jonathan and Joe just get so deflated throughout Tribal Council when they just, like, know that they're losing.
Well, and you have to remember that Final Tribal is, like, hours and hours. That's something Tiffany brings up in her exit press, is, like, there were so many questions asked. They showed you the highlights, kind of letting you know why the outcome was what it was. But, like, everybody got the chance to talk. We heard so much from everybody, so it was not just this. It wasn't just that. There was a lot going on. I've seen... There's always going to be people bitter about everything. I definitely saw comments on Instagram today of, like, oh, like, Aubrey won just because, like, she's played a bunch of times. Aubrey won because she had friends in real life on the jury.
I think it's a factor.
Jonathan even said in his exit press, he was like, I feel pretty confident I played a better game. I know I played a better game. I just was up against a narrative of, like, she'd played 4 times and people just wanted to see her win. And I was like...
I don't fully agree with that at all. I do think it's a factor.
I think it's a factor for sure, but it's like, why is it, for example, like, oh, Aubrey had friends on the jury. It's like, Jonathan, like, all the people that voted for you were people that you pre-gamed with.
Yeah, you had friends.
Like, yeah, so, like,
you were
why...
good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, why are you saying that about Aubrey? You know, like, she obviously just did a better job at, like... you and I talked before we started filming, like, Jonathan's biggest flaw was, like, his jury management. Like, he admitted to, at Final Tribal, like, intentionally provoking Dee to get her to, like, blow up and piss her off. And he was like, yes, I wanted to do that to, like, get all of the target onto her and off of me. But it's like, God, like, that's not great jury management.
No, it's
like,
not.
You know, and what if he allegedly said that to Tiff, like, about being a girl, like,
in front of a jury,
and, like, there's women on the jury already. Like, we already know that Jonathan didn't have any kind of working relationship with Emily at all. He, like, didn't really have a, like, super solid working relationship with, like, people outside of his alliance. You know, he formed this voting block as time went on. But, like, I think that he just is maybe, like, overestimating his like, social game a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And I completely agree. And we know that this is a weak spot for him from 42, where he was very bad at, like, the social game. And he was incredibly difficult to work with as an alliance member, where Lindsay would be, like, trying to pitch something and she has good information. And he's just like, no, you're not listening to me. That's not what we're doing. You're not listening to me. That's wrong. That won't go. Like, he is so difficult. And so it definitely wasn't that bad this time. But it's just like, I think he struggled to see outside of himself and even consider how Aubrey outplayed him. I think he, like, went to the end and was just like, I'm confused why I have to explain to you guys that I played better than her, you know? And, like, being able to articulate that. I think one of the most important questions really is Christian's, because it, like, embodies what the jury experience is. And Christian's like, you're not even really selling who played a better game or not. You're selling a narrative. You're selling a story. And it's who has the better story. Like, who has a good story. And Christian didn't say this, but I think it's like, and how much of the jury can see themselves in your story.
Yeah.
Because everyone is the hero of their own story.
Yep.
This is where Gabler did so well. Marianne, incredible. But Gabler, for example, shocked the world. But he had such a good story because it was one that resonated with the jury's experience. And it was that Gabler was invisible. but it was on purpose because he was Ali Gabler. And it's like giving them that visual and that story that they're like, yes, that makes sense to me. But Gabler, in his head, it's like he's the hero of his own story because everyone is.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that's what Aubrey did so well because she sold the underdog. Like, I'm just a nerd. Like, I played on the fringes and on the outside because I had to. And
I'm here to redeem myself from the last time I played. Yeah.
For sure. Like, it's this, like, comeback thing. And I think Jonathan, maybe if he just hones in on his storytelling a little bit and then on, just awareness to, like, how other people would perceive him a bit. But one thing, because going back to what Sam and I were saying in the car, leaving the finale where he's like, sometimes it's hard to talk about Survivor because I just feel like it's like, no, that's a wrong opinion. That's a wrong opinion. And it was in context to Jonathan. And I was just saying how he struggles to see outside of himself. But I will say, when I like take a step back and open my mind and just be like positive, Rob Sesternino, like trying to see things from all angles. Jonathan did an incredible job at like playing different from his first game.
Absolutely.
Like he played so different.
Oh yeah. Him and Ozzy are like the two biggest cases
and Ozzy,
of
it took him 4 seasons.
Yes, totally agree.
Jonathan, it was like...
And I think Jonathan played a strong game.
He did.
There are multiple times on this podcast where we've talked and I'm like, I am feeling pretty good about like Jonathan's game. I think he's playing pretty well. I think he could take the win if things work out really well. And if there's a world where, I think Jonathan, he's definitely losing to Cirie. Sounds like he was probably going to lose to Tiff. We know he lost to Aubrey. But if it's a Jonathan, Joe, Rizo final tribal, I really do think a bit of it's up in the air because they both probably have some locked in votes. Like we said, Jonathan's got his 3. Rizzo probably says like he probably has like D and Cirie and Tiffany. But like, it could go either way. Jonathan, I really think that he played a really good game, was never really in danger of going home, which was really impressive.
Never.
Won challenges, executed, like he got people out that he wanted out, like Camilla and D and Ozzy, like are some of the biggest ones. Like he played a good game. And
he recovered with like Coach and Chrissy being gone.
I mean, he like lost his whole alliance pretty back to back of like Coach, Chrissy, then Christian, then Steph. And it was like...
Which is exactly what happened to Tiff. Tiff lost all of her alliance members and then found herself. And so did Jonathan.
And then Aubrey never really had any. And so she kind of had to navigate the game almost alone entirely.
And she did say she wanted to do that. Because she said early on Angelina was trying to like hitch her wagon to hers.
And she was like, hell no.
She's like, no. Angelina was telling people like, Aubrey's my number one.
Angelina said, Aubrey, is there any way I can have an alliance?
No.
Aubrey.
Silence. Yeah.
Aubrey. Yeah.
No. Yeah. She was like, no. Anyway, so Jonathan was much more likable and palatable with his castmates this season, which is so great because it's like he talks about how much he has studied his season and everything that he did wrong. And
I've thought about Survivor every day for the last 4 years.
And he's like studied it
he said that in every interview.
It's so sad. It's just sad. It is sad to watch someone be sad.
Yes.
But anyway, socially he played so different.
Yep.
Physically, I'm curious if he like tamed himself in competitions, but I don't know if he as a competitor is like capable of doing that.
He came close to winning some other challenges that he didn't win. So like, I don't know if he was really trying to hold back a ton.
Yeah,
I just think that like he on his season, like everybody sucked at challenges except for Lindsay.
She was incredible.
Versus this time, there was a lot of people that are like pretty good at them. You had Joe and Tiff and Steph and Ozzy and like Christian won an immunity. Like so Aubrey won one. So.
Yeah, and plenty of other, like, Chrissy was amazing, and I think if she, if she had more opportunities, she could have won. So, yeah, it's like, I don't think he had to restrain himself. I don't think he could. But socially, it was, like, night and day.
Yes.
And he made it really far. He made it really far in 42, obviously, fire making. And then just like Joe with like his second season doing so well, he was able to repeat that. And it was like a completely different way.
Yep.
So props to you, Jonathan.
Yeah, we'll give you your flowers, bestie.
And Rob Cesternino told him no one came more prepared than you for this season. Like, he thought about it, like he said, every day for 4 years. He said he's hurt, heartbroken. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing anything else. Oh yeah. Something else that he talked about in his exit interview was like, Rob was trying to help him understand why he didn't do well, because Jonathan took it as a coaching opportunity to be like, tell me, Rob, like, why did I not do well?
And we'll say, like, he took it pretty hard. In several of his exit interviews, you can tell that he is, like, not doing great.
Well, and for the live reunion or the live viewing, he didn't even do a red carpet press because he left. Like, he was distraught.
Yeah.
Absolutely distraught.
Yeah. Can I say one thing, too?
Please.
Jonathan, when they're talking to everybody very briefly after the votes are read, because Aubrey wins 8-3-0. So Aubrey gets 8 out of the 11 votes. Jonathan is like, whatever, I've heard that, like, third time's the charm. And I just want to say, like, this is, like, it's such a little thing, but it's, like, it's a pet peeve of mine when people, like, expect that they're going to play again. It's one thing if it's, like, oh, if they call,
I'm there,
I'll play. But there's a couple times players have said things like that. Like, I remember Gabe on 47, when his torch gets stuffed, he's like, I'll be back. Like, no, you won't. Why do you think that? Not with that attitude.
Yeah.
Like, so when Jonathan said that, I was just like, I'm not saying I don't ever want to see him play again, but I was just like, don't presume anything, girl. Don't presume that people want to see you play again. Okay?
Yeah.
If you get called, sure, you can say third time's the charm, but don't say it now.
Yeah, totally. Not the time.
I didn't like that.
Not the time. Yeah, I didn't like that either. I didn't like it either. And, I mean, yeah, it's hard to, like, take the loss. But it's like, you'd think he knew that he was losing before they read all of those votes. Like, everyone knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like...
Oh, I mean, he definitely knew by this time, but I think it was just
and so it's like, don't you... I don't know. In my head, I'm like, when I'm on...
Yeah,
it's
when
like...
you're on that show.
I am having thoughts in my head for if they do a live thing. I'm going to have a statement in my head of if I win or if I lose. And how... Thank you. And how I'm, like, going to respond. And that is not going to be one of the ways.
If you win, oh my God, thank you. I feel so, like...
so
honored
blessed.
By this. Like, I can't even understand it. And then if you lose, fuck you guys. I'm so sick of this game. I can't believe you didn't vote for me. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. You're all dead to me.
Yes.
100%.
If you fuck with me, you're dead. Like Abby Maria.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch her.
Oh, yeah, you do.
We need her back. I would love her on Traitors.
Philippines. Oh, yeah. Oh,
she would be so great.
She would be amazing.
Amazing.
Television on the Traitors.
I know.
Love Abby.
So good.
Love Abby Maria.
One other thing that Rob helps Jonathan understand, helps me get my yawn out. One thing that Rob helps Jonathan understand is, like, what people look for in players in Steph's era, or, like, the old school, is someone like her, or like Colby, or like Jonathan, where they're, like, strong and physical and, like, all these other things, and it's just like, wow, you're the total package. But honestly, with, like, someone like Cirie playing and flipping the script, where it's like underdogs, winners look different, and people that fans love look different, and they're a little bit more relatable. Like, I can't relate to Jonathan or Steph, or, like, people that are just beasts that, like, win everything. Anyway, and so he helps him understand that the underdogs, like, it's a little bit in favor of the underdogs these days, just with the style of gameplay and the audience and everything. And unfortunately, Jonathan, you will never be looked at as an underdog. Like, you are hard to pitch as an underdog.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
just, like, not an option for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all of my thoughts about Jonathan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, like, it's honestly, like, a pretty strong runner-up game. If I'm thinking back to, like, every New Era season and thinking about people that got runner-ups, like, Jonathan may have played...
solid.
The best runner-up game of all. Like, I think the only other people that come to mind, like,
Aubrey.
Austin on 45. Oh, I'm just talking new era. But yes, you are right. Yes, Aubrey played a great second place game. Yeah, but like in the new era.
New era alone.
Austin on 45 played a pretty solid runner-up game. You know, you could argue that like Mike on 42 plays Turner. So well and kind of just chokes at final tribal. And then I'm like, Charlie probably, I would say most people would say was the best runner-up game. But Jonathan is like right up there. He played really, really strong. So I don't think he has anything, like Rob said, to be like ashamed of or like feel bad. He played great. It just came down to like Aubrey did some things better. And it was managing the jury, managing those relationships, selling her story, which is what like got her the win ultimately.
Yep. So let's talk about her.
Yeah, I think that like we can save a lot of our thoughts on Aubrey's like game as a whole for when we like rank the winners, which is another episode that we're gonna do in the off season. But yeah, I think that like as much as it kind of became a meme throughout the season of Aubrey just like constantly bringing up Michelle, she did end up playing. I think that like I honestly just think that Michelle's social game is stronger than Aubrey's, just because that's kind of the person Michelle is. But where Michelle Corong, like she really just comes alive near the end. Like we saw that with Aubrey, like final 9 with Ozzy getting voted out forward is when she really just like kicks it into high gear and like does everything she needs to in order to win.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some inspiration from Michelle there. Aubrey says like she was channeling past winners. Like she learned from Chris Underwood, you can win at the 11th hour. She learned from Sarah Lucina to be like, what did she say? Like less wishy-washy and just more
she said that you can be like introverted and it's about the one-on-one relationships and connections. And those will stand like when it comes to final tribal. Because she's like, Sarah Lucina is like me in that way where we're not like super outwardly social and we're kind of like awkward that way and we're introverts, but like one-on-one is where we can thrive. So it's like building one-on-one.
Yeah, definitely.
And what else did she say? What other winners?
Well, she talked about Michelle. She talked about Chris Underwood. She talked about Sarah because those were the ones she played with. I think that's the one she mentioned. Yeah. So
the other thing I'll say about the Michelle Aubrey comparison is, and this is going back to Jonathan's comment, where it's like how much of it really was also going up against not Aubrey's game in 50, but like her legacy.
Yeah, like she was robbed. She should have won.
And I do think that was a part of it, like for real. And I think it's because a lot of the jury members can relate, like being people that have played so many times and feel like they deserved the win. Because Michelle, like, didn't need, I shouldn't say need, but she like didn't have to, she didn't stand on a legacy and be like, here's my story, like I was robbed. She could just sell it with like that one season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's no fault of Aubrey's because that's her story.
Yeah.
And it is awesome and good for her. And Aubrey is great. And like, she got the win. There's no arguing that. Like, I don't think that juries really get it wrong. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, I wish I could have been there to understand this better.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I think that's the biggest point is that like, I've said this before, but like, at the end of the day, you have to remember that these people lived together for 26 days, no connection to the outside world.
Yeah.
And they were there for it.
All
so
of it.
like, even if with the edited product, you're like, Aubrey should not have won. Like Jonathan was robbed. I've been there before. When Aubrey lost the first time, I was gagged. I really thought she was going to win. In hindsight, yes, I've kind of flipped around to where I understand why Michelle won, and I'm like a Michelle Fitzgerald stan now. But like, that's the thing is like, you weren't there.
Yeah, we weren't there.
We were not there. It is going to be so impossible for editors to show every single thing that contributed to somebody's win, especially because so much of it can be so subtle. So much of it can just be relationship building. Like, that's so important. That's been the thing from day one is that like, if people don't connect with you, if they don't vibe with you, they don't like you, they're not going to vote for you to win, even if you think that you played the fiercest game ever. We saw that with Russell Hantz. We saw that with Boston Rob and Amber. Like, we've seen that with Michelle and Aubrey. Like, there were people that just didn't fuck with Aubrey. And you can argue that like Scott and Jason were bitter, and they probably were. But like,
but that's also knowing the jury.
I'm just saying, like, yes, did Aubrey have to do the things that she needed to do in order to get to the end? Yes. But it's like, certain actions that you take are going to make other people feel
some
certain
type
ways,
of way.
and you're not there. So like, yes, are there times where you could disagree with a winner? Sure, like Gabler's another famous example. I was so gagged when he won, and that one I still kind of don't really understand.
That one I'm annoyed,
but I have to remind
fine.
myself, like, I was not there. I didn't live with Cassidy. I didn't live with Owen. I didn't live with Gabler. Maybe Cassidy is the most annoying person on the planet. I wasn't
Cassidy.
there. Oh, I loved her too,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
I wasn't there. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, we can talk more about Aubrey's game as a whole when we talk about all these winners and we talk about the season. But yeah, like I think that's my biggest takeaway that I want like everybody to remember is that it's about connections and selling yourself, and like you were not there.
Yep. You're not there.
Like, so,
That's it's just, that's Survivor. That's why we love it.
Yeah.
Another way that history was made in this finale is that Aubrey broke the curse of the person who wins the car never wins.
This was so random.
It was so random. And it's just like sponsoring and money.
Yeah, like they just, go.
Yeah. Anyway, they're just like, oh, here's a car. Like no one knew that it would ever be a part of it.
Yes.
Aubrey has to run a mile to go to this
Oh my God, she was running forever. Like they read the votes, they come back from commercial, they're all sitting down, and then Jeff talks about the car curse and is like, Aubrey, go get your new Toyota Pathfinder or whatever it's called. And then like she literally runs outside for like over a minute. It was so funny.
They like kept showing her, she's still running down the trail.
Yeah.
Okay, go back. Okay, then they're showing her. Anyway.
Yeah. So
and
I guess
I'm so annoyed they slapped the logo on the side. I'm just annoyed.
I mean, I think it'll come off. I think it was just like a decal that'll come off.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
I just was so gagged that like, because they haven't given away a car on Survivor since season 14.
That's crazy.
And so I was so surprised that they even brought it up.
Yeah.
Like,
it was like...
That's like pretty deep Survivor lore at this point. Because they have not given away a car. Like Fiji was the last time they did it.
That's crazy.
And that curse was really consistent. The only other curse that I know of too that's on this... Well, I guess there's a couple. Like there's the M curse, which... Did it get broken?
I don't know.
The M curse is that like if you're a woman with an M name,
your name starts with M,
you're gonna go home first on your tribe. I think people argue that like Marianne broke it, but that's because there was a Mariah.
Yeah, so she didn't break it.
And then I think it was broken on 47 or 46. Because on the Green Tribe, there was another girl named Mariah. And I think Jem went home first.
Oh, Jem.
Because remember, Jem had the idol.
She has an M in her name.
Well, anyway, I'll have to check my trivia on that. But there was the M curse. There's also the margarita curse.
There is the margarita curse.
If you drink a margarita at the auction, you're going home.
You're gone.
Yeah.
They did have one.
Yeah, who drank it? Who drank the margarita? Was it Aubrey?
Wait, did they have one?
I feel like they had to have. We need to go back and look.
We need to go back to see if that curse was broken.
Yes. So anyway, the other curse too for a long time is that if you were first or last in the intro where they show all the players and their names at the beginning of every episode, if you were first or last, you didn't win either. That one did get broken though. I can't remember who broke it, but that one has been broken for a while. But that was a curse for a while.
That's so funny.
I remember when I was younger, I became aware of that curse. And so for like a couple seasons.
You're like, nope.
Yes, and they didn't win.
No.
Like I remember watching, I think I knew about it by the time like Samoa was airing. And I think the first and last people in the Samoa intros are Jason and Eric. And so I was like, oh, okay, like they're not winning.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Crazy.
I know, isn't that crazy?
That's so wild.
Yeah. So car curse gets broken. We also see some really cool stuff happen to Cirie, like we mentioned. So
this is the best.
The finale, one of the first things they do is that Jeff brings Cirie out and the audience is standing ovation cheering for her, and she starts crying, and she's like, this is the first time I've cried about this the whole season. I've received like so much love. The past 20 years have been amazing. And then Jeff presents her with this award called the Spirit of Survivor Award, where it's like this like dark like crystal with like red flames coming out of it. And it says,
it's like a rock that's like burst open with a flame.
And it says something like for inspiring like the fire within or something, like engraved at the bottom, which was like such a great way to honor her legacy and basically like let her know like you are the best player that has never won. There's no doubt you're like an icon. Like you're on Survivor Mount Rushmore alongside like Tony and Parv and Sandra and Boston Rob. Like you're right there. And then she also wins the fan favorite award that was voted on by the fans, which is so exciting because she won it on her first season. So really nice bookend. She made it really clear on her ex interview that she's not playing Survivor ever again. So like,
but she has big things.
What a great way to end her story.
That was just the
Survivor.
best. Yes. She looked so good in her red suit,
amazing.
her like bob.
She was in so many commercials.
Cute. Yeah.
Did you see the commercial that her and Parv did for Lyft too?
No, you sent me that one, but I haven't watched it yet.
She's getting her coin. Like she did stuff with L'Oreal, and she like love her. Love Cirie so much. Yeah.
Tiffany did one with Elf.
So good.
It's so awesome.
So good.
I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
That was so sweet. And we've never seen like Survivor go to such lengths to recognize someone. And it's just like, if anyone deserves it, it's her.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
It was so good.
It was. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, like the finale, like I said, overall, like it was good. There was some good stuff. Maybe a little anticlimactic, but
there were little nuggets.
It was good.
But we watched it in the best of company.
We did.
It's a show that we love.
We did.
What are your thoughts for 51, the open era?
Yeah, we get a very brief preview of 51, and it's called the open era. And what Jeff said is that obviously we'll learn more about the format, but it's like everything that's ever happened in Survivor is like fair game.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know
any
if that,
twist, any
I
advantage.
don't know if that means that it's just like, there's a ton of stuff that's going to happen all at once, or just like every single episode they're going to bring back a twist.
Oh my gosh.
The thing that I said is like, isn't that what Survivor's always been though? Like, I get that it's a branding and a marketing thing, but I'm like, oh, like we could bring back anything we've done. Like, isn't that what you've already been doing? Like, you could bring back twists whenever you want. Like, I wonder if it's just like a way to get people hyped because they could bring back like really obscure things like the Outcast twist or the Cook Islands bottle twist or the every time you win a challenge, you kidnap someone from the other tribe and they get a clue.
That.
Like,
I want people sneaking into each other's camps. I want that.
Oh, so yeah, like some Island of the Idols journey stuff. I'm hoping with the open era. I mean, this will be a whole other episode, but what I'm hoping with for the open era is that the twists do not. I hope they're twists that like
don't ruin the gameplay.
Well, that like what I was gonna say is like I hope they're twists that like let the players play
for sure.
Like I don't want to see stuff where it's like, oh, you're gonna go and you're gonna flip these dice. Or you're going to go play Jenga in the forest. Like, if we're going to see twists, I want to see stuff like, oh, you kidnap a member of the other tribe. The other tribe that person gets a clue to the idol and they have to give it to somebody on this tribe. Yeah. Like, stuff like that I feel like is way more compelling than like, pick someone to go on a journey and then you're all going to draw straws and then one of you is just turning around and going back home and now you're going to play like karaoke. And like whoever, like I'm just like I don't want this Mario Party shit.
No.
I don't want it.
100%.
I don't want it.
No one wants it.
I mean, that's the thing is that I think the producers think that we do.
Who is telling them this? We need
look
to
at
tell
what the fans voted for, girl. The fans want all this shit. They eat it up.
The fans
eat it up.
Bongos. The fans need to listen to this podcast.
They do.
So we can vote for better things and get the right feedback up the chain. That's what needs to happen.
Yes.
They don't listen to Rob's sister Nino.
Yeah. I'm going to take a book. I'm going to take a page out of Obama's book.
Let's hear it.
The campaign is going to be like, oh, we can't change Survivor. And I'm going to, yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Really quickly, just to get it out of the way, Queen of the Week, Queen of this season. Congratulations to Aubrey Bracco. I still, I would argue that like, Queen of the Week is about like who improved their position most. And so like, even if, even if she like didn't win
regardless of outcome
season, I think that you could make an argument that like Aubrey, really kind of, like I said, kicked her game into high gear. But what I will say is that like, I mean, we've only done this podcast for like one other season, but I think this is the first time that you know, I mean, it is the first time. This is dumb. We've only done this since 49. But like, it's interesting that like Aubrey won the season and never won Queen of the Week.
That is interesting.
We'll have to see if that's like a trend that happens again.
That's crazy. That wasn't the case with Savannah.
No, Savannah won it It basically bounced back and forth between like Savannah, Sage, and Sophie B, and then Rizzo got it like one time.
Rizzo got it once, yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if that happens again, because I feel like if we like rewatched older seasons, I struggle to think of any other season where like the winner wouldn't win Queen of the Week at least one time, except for like maybe Gabler.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, even Chris Underwood would win it in the finale, but like, does that count?
No.
So I don't know. Anyway, congrats,
because
Aubrey.
they win the crown of Sole Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting to think about.
Yeah.
I mean, I think of like Danny, where people didn't like clock her game at all, really, her first season, and then it's like she pulled out this like overwhelming win, and it's just like, I didn't tell anyone anything.
Yeah.
Because not even you producers. Yeah. So
love Danny.
Like little things like that. But
yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well.
What a good.
Yes.
We'll talk about this later. But like honestly, what a good season.
Yes.
It still was a great finale. A lot of firsts.
Yes.
Someone was fired. Probably. I'm so sorry. I've been
video.
there.
Somebody's getting fired. Yeah, that was 100% was happening.
That was
backstage
happening
when Jeff did his flub for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But thank you guys so much for listening. We've had like a few comments from people on YouTube and then also in Spotify. We love you.
Yes, we love you so much.
We're so grateful. And even though there aren't episodes of Survivor every week, we still will be filming.
Yes.
We still will be podcasting.
We will.
So don't you worry. We'll get you Survivor content even in the off season.
Yes. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, next week we're going to take a look at season 50 as a whole and just talk about like, now that the season's over, how do we feel about it? Whose reputations improved? Who like had nice endings to their stories? All that stuff. We're also going to be, as I said, ranking every season of Survivor. We're probably going to split that into 2 episodes and talk about every single season and where we feel like season 50 fits in. And we're going to go through and rank every winner. Now that we've got 50 winners, who do we think are like the best of the best?
Well, some repeats in there, but yes.
Yes, we've got 2 repeats
seasons.
in there. Yes. But we'll probably split that over 2 episodes as well. So yes, plenty of content coming your way.
Don't you sweat, little queens.
Do not worry. For the last time this season, Alicia,
the queens have spoken.
But yes, we will be seeing you next week and throughout the summer. So stay tuned. We've got plenty of awesome content coming your way. And then as soon as the season 51 press starts and the cast leaks and all that stuff, we will be chatting about it again. So stay tuned.
Can't wait for it. Bye.
All right. Bye, everybody.